April 2nd, 2:10 PM, Zodiac Art Gallery, Fountain, Patio. Hello everyone, Triple S, back with more Eastern Investigators, Miles Edgeworth, Prosecutor's Path. I'm pretty sure last time was the final time we were going to be switching to Gregory Edgeworth, so I don't think we're going back to the past anymore for this case. Maybe in the last two cases we might go back, maybe flashbacks or something, I've got no idea, but I'm pretty sure we're not going back anymore. Also, one thing as well, if you remember, I spotted a kid in the gallery, I think it was the Winter Palace. Was it the Winter one or the Autumn one? One of the ones. I saw like Ron Delight and Desiree Delight. There was also a kid, and I was like, oh, that might be Cody Hackins. But then I was like, wait a minute, no, that he might not even been born yet, because for some reason in my head I was like, Cody Hackins, of course, from Apollo Justice. No, he was from the first game, Turnabout Samurai, which isn't like. I think it's like 3 years ago it happened, Turnabout Samurai, from when this case takes place. So, it still could have actually been him, but there was nothing said about it, but it was 3 years or 2 years ago, one of those ones, but it could have feasibly been him, but it doesn't seem like it was because there was no call out to it and he was dressed differently, so, I'm not that stupid, but I am that stupid. Anyway, let's carry on with the presents and Miles and everything. And that's all Uncle Ray knows about the IS-7 incident. Oh, that's why we're not going to flashback anymore, because that's all he knows about it. So that's what happened in my father's last case, the truth of the IS-7 incident. What happened at the trial? In the end, Von Karma defeated us. Ah! So you couldn't prove Mr. Master's innocence? We had gathered plenty of evidence to prove it, but Von Karma was even more despicable than we thought. He was a prosecutor who would do anything for his guilty verdict. That's right, and he really did use any means necessary. Because of this, the trial dragged on for about a year until it finally reached a conclusion. I'll never forget that fateful day when the judgment was passed down the 28th of December. It's April now, so it's been a little over 17 years. How time flies. The 28th of December, 17 years ago. I was watching from the gallery that day. Before the trial, your old man noticed that Mr. Master was acting strangely. He was at the breaking point, both mentally and physically. He wanted to be found guilty. No, Mr. Master didn't fake a confession, did he? Yep, that was what Von Karma was aiming for from the start. When your old man tried to expose the fact that the body had not been found, Von Karma used the power of his police cronies to quash that argument. He even went as far as to prepare a fake autopsy report. Then they made Mr. Master give a false testimony and confess to being an accomplice. With Mr. Master's confession, the situation quickly became dire. But your old man had a trump card up his sleeve. Was that the trump card he was talking to Detective Bad about? Yep, that trump card was to be our insurance in case Mr. Master confessed. He had asked Detective Bad to have Mr. Master's interrogation recorded. Detective Bad wanted to know the truth too, huh? After he was dropped from the investigation, he never stopped caring about the case. Even when he was involved with other large cases, he really was the definition of a true detective. The defence had presented the recording, which proved that the confession was forced. Well, it seemed the detective in charge of the initial investigation and interrogation, Rip Lacer, took all of the blame and was charged and dismissed. Rip Lacer. Still, at the trial, your old man exposed Von Karma's corruption and Von Karma received his first penalty from the then chief prosecutor. His first, and I'm pretty sure only penalty that he ever got. Yeah, there you go. The only penalty in his 40 years of prosecution. Thank you, Edgeworth. I just said that. However, Mr. Master didn't want the trial to continue any longer. And the curtains closed on the trial that day with the verdict of guilty. My memory of that time is fuzzy, but I was also there watching my father's final trial. And I think his final regrets became my own. Your old man wanted a retrial to prove Master's innocence, but he passed on before he could fulfill his wish. After getting entangled in another case... Yep. It breaks my heart even now that I didn't return home with him that day. And what's more, to blind myself from my own worthlessness, Uncle Ray put all of his hatred on you as a traitor for being Von Karma's pupil. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's natural you would hate me. After I became a prosecutor, I was able to get Von Karma to show me the case file. Mr. Master was found guilty for the murder of Isaac Dover. Huh? That's not right. Wasn't Mr. Master found guilty of being an accomplice? But this case file says guilty of murder. There shouldn't be anything unresolved in the cases handled by Manfred Von Karma. Wait, can I take a look at that file? It looks like the charges have been rewritten. What? Look at this, look at that, look at this. Victor's body was found inside a dessert made by the suspect. Lester is arrested, jailed, diagnosed. The charge is accomplice to murder. This is a copy of the original case file I received from the courts. Why would the charge be altered? This file was given to you by Von Karma, right? Maybe he just didn't want you to know the truth, since you're Gregory's son. He would have wanted to avoid another retrial before the statute of limitations ran out after all. So what I had come to believe back then had all been a lie. If you didn't know about it, just make sure you know it from now on. The statute of limitations has long expired, but the truth still sleeps right here. After your old man passed away, Uncle Ray took over as Mr. Master's defense attorney. Although Von Karma also had another prosecutor take over the case, perhaps he thought that since his opponent was a rookie, he didn't even need to turn up. In the end, the real killer was never found, and Mr. Master was found guilty. No! Is there nothing we could do even now? Since the killer was never found, he can't withdraw his confession. I found out after the trial that Mr. Master made a deal with Von Karma because Von Karma had threatened him. If you don't confess, Catherine Hall will be held under the same charges. That's terrible. I don't think Mr. Master really thought that Kate was the killer, but to protect her, he faked a confession. Miles, on the day that Knightley boy was killed, why do you think Uncle Ray was at the prison? Ah, I see. You went to see Mr. Master, didn't you? I said I'd visit him every day. I couldn't keep that promise, but I asked Katie Pie to look in on him for me when I couldn't. Through rain or snow she went, every single day without fail. But nothing has changed, and Mr. Master still serves his punishments. That's so sad. Isn't there anything we can do? That's why I came here. Because I knew those ice sculptures would be on display here today. So, what are you going to do, Miles? I'm a prosecutor. My position is different from you and my father, Miles. But, moving past my position, what I want as Miles Edgeworth is to know the truth of these two cases. It is for that reason that I am here. You really are your father's son. Well then, if that's what you've decided, I'll support you all the way. I'd better leave the IS-7 documents and evidence with you then. Alright, here are the documents. By the way, the pads in orange are Uncle Ray's old notes. IS-7 incident file updated on my organizer. Thank you. And now here's the IS-7 evidence. There's a lot, so make sure to look it over while you investigate. Received a lot of IS-7 evidence from Mr. Shields. Right. I'll check through it later. Anyway, there are so many strange things about this case. Indeed, those involved in the case 18 years ago have reunited and another incident occurs. replicas of the statues from 18 years ago were displayed in the Winter Palace, and poison gas was released in the Autumn Palace, which had been disguised as the Winter Palace. The two chemicals in the Pisces case, mammalium and vitalium, were mixed, causing an outbreak of poison gas. The victim of the poison gas was Dane Gustavia, a person involved in the I-7 incidents. Because he was unconscious, he received treatment in the Zodiac Art Gallery's infirmary. Finally, the dead body found floating in the fountain. And once again, the ice sculptures have melted. That's a lot of stuff. There are deep connections between the two cases. It's possible there are still some clues left from 18 years ago. Right, let's get started. What are you doing here? Just 1 second. Don't tell me you've forgotten about me. Didn't I tell you that I'm the one in charge of this case? Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you intend to continue disrupting Sebastian's investigation, the word guilty will be added to your PIC report. What does she mean, guilty? Please allow me to assist in your investigation as before. I appreciate your proposal, but I'm afraid I must overrule it. That was fast. Even though we're short on hands to identify the victim right now, it's only a matter of time until we figure it out. In that case, I shall take that load off your shoulders at once. Regarding the identity of the unidentified body, one person comes to mind. Really? Then tell us. Very well. It's not just the sculptures that have made a comeback from the incident 18 years ago. The body in the fountain is... where is he? He's not on that page. Isaac Dover. It's likely that the identity of the body is the victim of the murder that occurred here 18 years ago. Isaac Dover. Ah! It's Icy's body? Hey, who's that? Never heard of him. Mr. Isaac Dover, a truly great sculptor. But he was better known as Pierre Huquet. The sculptures on display here in the museum are all his creations. So in other words, that sculptor was the best. Somehow I feel a strong kinship to him. I keep saying sculpture instead of sculptor. And he was the victim in the IS-7 incident. She knew about the IS-7 incident? Prosecutor Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident occurred 18 years ago. And what's more, the police reported the removal of the body. That's what's on the record, but I wonder if that really is the truth. What are you saying? The defense attorney in the IS-7 incident claimed that the body was never found. Not that the prosecution would ever admit to such a thing. Ring-a-ding-ding. Hello? No, really? Is something wrong, Sebastian? No, it's just they said that they know who the victim is. It's just as that prosecutor says. It's Dover. No, it can't be. Ha! It would seem my father's suspicions were correct. What is it, Judge Courtney? Have you finally realised that I am much more helpful than Mr. DeBest? Hey, are you trying to steal the best position for yourself? I'm doing no such thing. I just want to know the truth. And for that to happen, we need to cooperate, no? The truth is none of your concern.
Objection.
I don't think that's true, Courtney Pie. You again. Uncle Ray assisted the defense attorney involved in the IS-7 incident. The one who claimed that Mr. Dover's body was never found. The prosecution denied it at the time, but now the body has been discovered here. In other words, the IS-7 investigation was unjust. And isn't it the duty of the PIC to investigate corrupt prosecutors? Ugh. Then wouldn't you want to cooperate with those who were involved in the case? Unless you have an ulterior motive? Now that I think about it, Judge Courtney knew about the IS-7 incident. So it seems she really is here because of the PIC. Even if you're related to the incident, I don't see how Prosecutor Edgeworth is. He's the son of the attorney in that case, and a prosecutor taught by Von Karma himself. And what's more, he was in the audience at the IS-7 trial. I'm sure there are many points he can enlighten us on. Ugh. Very well, I will allow you to cooperate. However, your investigation must not hinder the other investigators. The Winter Palace is currently being investigated, but the fountain patio is open to you. That's my corny pie. Now we're talking. As thanks, I will allow you to have a hug with Uncle Ray. Overruled. If I feel your cooperation isn't needed, I will have to ask you to leave. I couldn't figure out that sentence at all. Understood. Isn't that great, Miles? Now we can start investigating. It really helped us there. Hehehe, Uncle Ray did it all for himself. Alright, Uncle Ray's going to investigate too, so let me know if you figure something out. Got it. Right then. Okay, let's begin the investigation. Okay, let's do this. We still don't know where Mr. Dover's body and the Normalium were hidden. We don't have enough information to go on. You're right, our first priority is the Normalium. Well, Normalium is used in washing detergents, paints and the like. If I recall, it's a red liquid with a minty aroma. Minty aroma. Normalium is a red liquid with a minty aroma. Logic added. Well then, let's get looking for that Normalium. Zodiac Art Gallery, Fana Patio, begin investigation! Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is examine the tea cart in the lower left. Hello. This thing. On this service cart, Miss Hall has prepared her tea set. According to the pamphlet, the museum is also famous for its tea. Yep, it certainly had a flavourful, rich taste. It seems this tea set was also made by Mr. Dover. Oh, so the tea set was made by the victim? Let's take a closer look. What are we looking at? The moon teapot, of course. So this tea set was made by Isaac Dover. Fancy stuff, huh? Okay, I'd say this tea set is worth thousands of dollars. Please be careful with it. Huh? This tea set is such a treasure. Please don't look so excited. If I recall correctly, Miss Hall was a huge fan of Mr. Dover. Teapot data jot down my organizer. Hey, Edgy! What is it? Be careful with that teapot. Why must I be warned by him of all people? Madame and Messieurs. Would you care for some tea? Miss Hall. Ah! Katie! No, I'm fine, thanks. Kay and Edgy, you guys can have some. Well, since you asked, we might as well take a short break. If only just started. Certainly. Thanks for the tea! Wow, it's so tasty! What kind of tea is this, Miss Edgeworth? It's Ceylon tea, known for its citrus aroma. However, Miss Hall, is this the same tea you served us this morning? Yes, that's right. Was it not to your liking? No, it's not that. The tea we had this morning had a slightly different aroma. Different tea aroma. Smells different from the tea we had this morning. Did something change? Logic added. How strange. It is the same Ceylon tea I served this morning. There shouldn't be anything different about it. What's wrong with you, Edgy? Quit nitpicking about the tea Katie so kindly prepared for you. Larry, what are you getting so upset about? I'm not upset. You're just being a rude jerk. And I told you to call me Larice. Sheesh, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. It's like arguing with a child. Larice, I wonder what's wrong. I'd like to ask him that later myself. And I also need to speak with Miss Hall. I don't have any evidence that shows she is the culprit, but I dare say she is the one who set up the poison gas trap. We're done here. So let's have a talk with her. Talk, there we go. I thought I was examining the fountain then, but it's not. It's talk to her. Miss Hall, where have you been up until now? I was showing the remaining guests out and handing out complimentary gifts and an apology. Did you require my services? Yeah, there are a few things I want to ask you about. If my suspicions are correct, she's the one who set up the poison gas trap. The poison gas trap? Straight to the point. How exactly did you prepare the melted sculptures from 18 years ago? Why? So you know about what happened 18 years ago. It's because 18 years ago I photographed Monsieur Dover's sculptures. Using the photos as a base, I managed to create replicas. Replicas? The Zodiac sculptures had been unfinished work, so I wanted to complete it somehow. Because I am the one who accidentally melted Monsieur Dover's sculptures. And could you tell me why the Autumn Palace resembles the Winter Palace so much? Well, my apologies. Did they really look so alike? I think I may have gotten some of the decorations mixed up. She's obviously lying. But I haven't gathered any evidence to prove that yet. Are we done here? I guess we are. What's this brown stain that's right here? Oh, this smell and this colour. Don't tell me this is a puddle of tea. Huh? There's a piece of pottery in the middle of this puddle. Pottery shard data jotted down in my organiser. I wonder what broke. I think I recognise the design. I should probably show this to that man and see what he has to say. That man? Well, the guide's now telling me to talk to Larry Burtz, wherever the heck he is. There he is. Larice! Larry, tell me what you're hiding. You two, stop glaring at each other like that. I'm not glaring, Kay. I'm using my artist's perspective. Edge's the one who's glaring. Then if you know what's good for you, you will tell me what you're hiding right now. No way, dude. Didn't I say that I'm not talking to you anymore? Aren't you talking to me right now? From now on, I'm definitely not talking to you anymore. I'm not going to get anywhere like this. Looks like I'll have to force it out of him. With that, we... hiding something. Oh, no, I did it wrong. Whoops. Larry, what are you hiding? Hey, come on, Miss Edgeworth. This isn't the time to be playing around, you know. I wasn't playing around. Still, looks like Larice won't be talking anytime soon. If he isn't going to talk to us willingly, I'll just have to force him to talk. I may just have something on what he's hiding. I should present that to him and see what he says. See, this is what I'm supposed to do. Do I press Y? Yeah, I do. This... I think it's for the pottery shard, yes? Yes. Larry, take a look at this. What's that? Larry, I've got a feeling that you're... Well, what you're hiding is related to the tea in this pottery shard. Well, if you're not going to talk to me, I can always hand this shard over to Judge Courtney. Wait! I'm trying to keep a clean image for Justy. I don't want her to see how I've dirtied myself! I can't imagine what parts of you can be considered clean, but if you don't want her to declare you guilty, I suggest you speak truthfully now. I got it, I'll tell you. There we go, hiding something. Larry, it's time you confess to what you've done. How can you be so cruel to your best friend? The same way you can be so dishonest to your best friend. Well, you can stop glaring at me. I promise to tell you the truth this time for sure. I just thought I'd pour Justy some tea, but my hand kinda slipped a bit, and it broke. I accidentally broke the crazy expensive teapot! The butt strikes again. Why am I not surprised? Oh boy, you've really done it this time, Larice. What should I do, Edgy? Katie will hate me! crying to me about it won't solve anything. First you should apologise to Miss Hall. Is that so? My teapot was... Katie, I'm so sorry! I don't have any money, but I'll draw as many portraits of you as you like. Please kindly raise your head, Monsieur. It is I who should apologise. I didn't notice the broken shards. It's dangerous, so I'll tidy up the broken pieces. And I'll mean to take this piece from you as well. Wasn't this tea set one of Isaac Dover's works? I heard that it was very important to you. Yes, but there's no use crying over spilled tea. Besides, I still have another one of those teapots left. Is she not as attached to Dover's works as she used to be? Katie, you're so kind. Oh, the other teapot you were talking about, is it the one on that cart? Yes. Truth is, when I was trying to hide the broken shards, I looked under that cart. And I found a teapot that looked exactly the same, so I switched them. Pots were switched, so I re-switched the broken teapot with another teapot. Logic added. Really? Yeah, everything's cool now. I took great care to make sure no one would break that pot. You don't brag about that when you were the one who broke it in the first place. I'm sorry. I don't mind. Thank you for your consideration. Edgy! Kitty is a really nice lady, isn't she? You should reflect on how you cause trouble for people like her. Okay, when I make it big as an artist, I'll donate paintings. In fact, I'll even welcome you as my own personal model. I think it'd be better if you just stopped causing trouble. I hope you haven't done anything else. I haven't, I just stood around sketching beauties. Sketching beauties? If you're interested, I can let you take a peek. I guess even Mr. Edgeworth is interested in beauties. It's not like that. I just thought it might be another one of his strange paintings. How dare you! I'm very confident in my work this time. Ooh, I want to see too. Oh, I'm glad you're so honest about it, Kay. I'll get it ready, so come check it out later. I guess I'll have him show it to me later. Really? The guy's telling me to talk about it now, so I'll do it now. About that sketch you mentioned just now. What? If you wanted to see my art, you should have been honest about it from the start. Look, here it is. Oh. What is she doing? In the left? At the bottom? What is this? I already told you it's a sketch of beauties. Ah, but just to be clear, the beauties only refers to Justy and Katie. Oh, the plump lady has nothing to do with that. Wow, that's harsh. Then why did you draw her on the same page? Well, I was taking a break from my still life painting when those beauties caught my eye. I guess I just drew them on the same page without thinking. So you're saying that the pictures on this page were each drawn separately? Huh? Oh yeah, I may have drawn them at different times. By the way, there's a drawing of the beautiful little Miss K on another page. Wow, beautiful, huh? Thanks. Larry, you drew this exactly as you saw it, correct? Well, yeah, even I can't draw what I can't see. I recreated the scene perfectly, even delicate shades. Delicate shades, huh? I don't want to admit it, but this picture might be of help to the investigation. The contents of this sketch, the service cart in the fountain patio. Seems there is a contradiction between the two. I'll need to expose this contradiction using my powers of deduction! Could I borrow this sketch for a while? Sure, I can even sign it for you if you like. I think I'll pass. Sketch of Beauties Data Jotdown Organizer. Okay. It's time to logic! Go away, Twitch. Spots were switched. With a different tea aroma. Connect. For some reason, this game's making my GPU fan go crazy, even though my GPU is not really being used. That's weird. Okay, anyway. Maybe the reason why the Ceylon Kalon tea smelled different was because the pots had been switched. Huh? Really? The taste of the tea itself did not actually change after all. Let's go ask Miss Hall about it in more detail. Miss Hall, was the reason why the Ceylon Kalon tea smelled different because the pots were switched? Yes, that's certainly possible. It had a fresh, minty aroma, not unlike that of uva tea. Ah! I remember now. I prepared some mint tea yesterday. I'm sure that the aroma just happened to remain in the teapot. Pot with a different aroma. The tea has a minty aroma because a different teapot was used. Logic added. Is that really all there is to it? Pot with a different aroma. With minty aroma. Connect. A minty aroma was emanating from the pot Larry had replaced. Miss Hall said the aroma was left over from the mint tea she prepared yesterday. Indeed, she seemed less surprised to find out that Larry broke the teapot. I'm more surprised by the fact that the pots had been switched. That's right. Normally it would have been the reverse. A broken teapot is much more shocking. She was probably trying to hide this teapot. Hide the pot? One of the characteristics of Nomalium is a minty aroma. There's a possibility that she was hiding Nomalium inside this teapot. What? Inside the pot? It is only a possibility for now, but it's one worth investigating. Mr. DeBest, I assume you haven't found the Nomalium yet? Huh? Oh. I've had the entire art museum searched, but I haven't received any reports yet. What about you? Don't you have any ideas? Only one. I knew it. Nobody but me would be able to find it. Wait, what? You have an idea where it is? Indeed. Then tell me! It may have been in this teapot that Miss Hall had used. Oh? This teapot is pretty nice. It would make the perfect present for the best prosecutor. It's not a present. It's an important piece of evidence. No, it's just evidence. Then I guess I'll have forensics take a look at it. Monsieur Edgeworth, is there something wrong with the teapot I used? This teapot has a minty aroma to it. It's the same aroma as one of the two chemicals used to create the poison gas. Monsieur Edgeworth, surely you don't mean... You suspect me of having set off the poison gas? I do. Setting up the poison gas trap in the Autumn Palace would have required some preparation. As the curator of this museum, you're the only one who could have prepared it in advance. I wonder about that. Preparations for the opening of the museum took about a week, and I received help from both outsiders and Madame Delicia. I think there are people besides me who are also suspicious. Of course, Delicia is also under scrutiny. Furthermore, I don't even know how to create something like poison gas. Even if you found Nomalium in my teapot, there's no way I could have prepared the poison gas. Well then, I look forward to hearing the analysis results of the teapot. Her excuse is that she doesn't know how to prepare the poison gas. I must find a way to shatter that excuse. Oh, what are we doing here? Oh, we're going back to the cart, apparently. Get out of my way, the best. And you. And deduce a spot on the white table. Yeah, because it's different. This is white, but what Larry drew was blue. As you can see, blue. Larry, there's something I want to ask you about your sketch. Huh? You want a lecture on sketching from the famed Professor Larice, do you? No, I just need to ask you something. The tablecloth in your sketch, are you sure it was light blue? Yep, my eyes never fail me. But the one on the service cart here is white, isn't it? Dude. You're always so busy thinking with just your head that you miss the obvious. What's with that look on your face? When I drew that painting, I was using the cart with the tea set on it, remember? Gus was tidying up the broken pottery shards. That's not something to be proud of. And right then, Katie came out of the Winter Palace. Had to hurry and hide the broken teapot so that she wouldn't notice it. Did you just say Miss Hall came out of the Winter Palace? That's right. This time, she was pushing another service cart. and the tablecloth was light blue, just like how I drew it. Ah. What did she do with that service cart? Beats me. She went into the summer palace with it, so I don't know. And when she came out, she was pushing the lift trolley. The lift trolley? When I called out to her, she was so surprised that she just left it there. She's so cute when she's shy. A second service cart, and a lift trolley. Maybe there were 2 tea sets along with 2 service carts. We'll have to verify it with Miss Hall. Are we done here? We're done here. We've got to examine the fountain itself. It appears the body has already been recovered by the police. Where was the body of the victim from 18 years ago found floating in the fountain? I mean, wouldn't the body have gone all goopy after 18 years? I don't know if I would call it goopy. It certainly would have required a special method to preserve the body. Yeah, I wonder if such a method even exists. Mr. Forensics Guy, any information? Yes. Mammalium and Vitalium have been detected in the fountain water. It must have flowed through the stream from the Autumn Palace to the fountain. Aside from the chemicals, we also found high levels of sugar. We're working hard on investigating it. Sugar in the fountain water. What could have caused that? It's Edgeworth this time getting a call. This is Edgeworth. It's Gumshoe, sir. Did something happen? Actually, right now, all the investigators, but me, have left the Winter Palace. So I can finally tell you what we found. It's not good for a detective to be leaking out information about the investigation, but his resourcefulness has saved me many times these past few days. All the sculptures in the Winter Palace have melted. There's still some liquid left in the cases, but there's less in the Gemini case than in the Taurus case. There's still liquid in the glass cases? Yes, sir. We just investigated the light blue liquid a moment ago. We only detected sugar in the Taurus case, but for some reason in the Gemini case we detected 3 different substances. 3 substances. They consisted of sugar, salt, and blood. Blood? Blood and salt were detected in the Gemini case. Wonder whose blood it could have been. I've asked forensics to look into it, sir. Right, I'll leave it to you, detective. That reminds me, the forensics investigating the fountain patio contacted me. It seems the sugar found in the fountain matches that found in the light blue liquid. Oh, that sounds like valuable information. Liquid analysis results jotted down in my organizer. Is that all the new information you have for me? Now that you mention it, we found a rainbow light device in there too. The device was used to disguise the Autumn Palace. It seems the device that was used in the I-7 incident is also connected to this one. I should listen to what Delicia has to say about that. I have to go back to investigating now, sir. When we get the results of the blood tests, I'll let you know right away. Yes. Thank you, detective. Was that Gummy calling? That sure was a long call. But thanks to him, we now have an important piece of information. In order to break Miss Hall's alibi, I'll need to talk to everyone involved in the I-7 incident. So let's go talk to Delicia. Get out of my way, hello, Courtney. Delicia, would you be willing to aid in the investigation? You see, of course. Anything from Miley and Kay-Faye, I'll listen to whatever you have to say. I was wondering if you could stop calling me Miley. And stop calling me Kay-Faye. Fee! That's out of the question. I can't just change a name I've already decided on. Ugh. Even if we ask her, she won't listen to what we have to say at all. The decorations. Do you know anything about the decorations that are used in this museum? Specifically the fluorescent cloths and a special device called a rainbow light device. You see, of course I do. Because they're presents that I gave to Katie. As an apology for breaking the rules 18 years ago. I gave her 4 new rock salt lamps and 4 fluorescent cloths I used in the contest. Wow, that sounds nice. Fluorescent cloths and rock salt lamps. Seems like only us girls can understand how wonderful they are. That's a cruel thing to say, Miss Delicious. I liked them too, you know. Fee! That was back when Rayway was still a cute little boy. Back when Mr. Shields was a cute little boy? Can't even imagine it. Are they the same decorations you saw 18 years ago? Probably. The rock salt lamp, the cloth and the rainbow light device. They all seem the same. 4 fluorescent cloths were used in the Autumn Palace. But I have the feeling I saw one more of the same cloth. It's true! Look, I've got the proof right here in my bag. What's she searching for? Chocolates? Not this. Not this either. Huh? I remember seeing cloth like that recently. Let's show Delicia and have her confirm my suspicions. What am I showing her? Oh, we're just presenting it now then? Okay. Wasn't there a dirty rag in your bag that looks similar to this? Fee! I'm not going to give any information to someone who calls it a dirty rag. Then, would it be better if I called it a washcloth? Fee! Wrong again. It's a fluorescent cloth. Ah, oopsie! That was supposed to be a secret. Please tell me all you know about this fluorescent cloth. Do we go straight to that? No, we're going to talk about other stuff first, okay. I'd like to ask you something, since you're a pharmacist. Exactly how would one gain the knowledge required to set off poison gas? Well, that's basic knowledge for any pharmacist acquainted with Megatoxin X. Let me say Megatonin then. It even says on the warning label, danger, do not mix with pneumonium. Then, is there another way for someone who isn't a pharmacist to obtain that information? Well, it might be possible if they've seen the Angel's recipe. The recipe book that was the grand prize of the contest 18 years ago. Since it also contains the recipe to prepare Megatoxin X, containing in the book, the Angel's recipe also contains the method to prepare the poison gas. Logic added. Does this mean that you've also seen the contents of the Angel's recipe? You see, that's a given, of course. The pharmaceutical company I work for is the Master Group. It's the company that makes the Cold Killer X medicine. Cold Killer X, the cold medicine that promises to kill colds good. After Jeffy got declared guilty, the company took back the recipe book. However, only a small group of elite pharmacists have been allowed to see it though. So this woman is also a part of that small group of elite pharmacists. Fluorescent cloth. Please tell me the reason why you hid this cloth. No, I guess I have no choice, since the cat's out of the bag. I found this cloth floating in the fountain. And right after that, I was called to the Autumn Palace. So that's the moment Larry captured in his so-called sketch of beauties. At first I thought one of the fluorescent cloths had given Casey had washed away. But didn't you only give 4 fluorescent cloths as a present to this museum? There were 4 fluorescent cloths covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace, right? So that's when I realised that this was the cloth that went missing 18 years ago. The poison gas broke out because someone had stolen my Megatoxin X. So I thought the fluorescent cloth had also been used for the crime. I was afraid I'd be suspected, so I didn't say anything about it to anyone. I see. But I sure feel a lot better after talking about it. Stress isn't good for your figure after all. 18 years ago, the cloth that was wrapped around the body went missing. Who would have thought it would turn up in the fountain along with the body? Fluorescent cloth data updated in my organizer. Okay, I think we're done talking with her. So, Raymond? Oh, you're up there. Miles, how's the investigation going? Well, little by little I'm beginning to see the entire truth behind this case. Well, that's good to hear. Uncle Ray had better not fall behind either. I'm just gonna scroll down my guide because I'm getting a bit lost sometimes. There we go, that's better. That's better. About the 2 cases. This case seems to have a lot in common with the case 18 years ago. I agree the melted ice in the Winter Palace and the body of the victim from 18 years ago. Wonder why nobody ever noticed the body was missing after all this time. The only family Mr. Dover had was a young son. his son and Mr. Gustavia's son, who attended the same elementary school. After the case, they both went missing. What? They haven't been found yet? Haven't heard any news about Mr. Gustavia's son being found. But as for Mr. Dover's son, he was found and his inheritance was delivered to him. And because of that, Mr. Dover never had a proper funeral. That way they were able to make it look like the body had been in police custody. The autopsy report had also been forged, so nobody but the defence ever found out. Von Karma. You would go that far. Catherine Hall. Mr. Shields, could you tell me what kind of person Miss Hall is? Huh? Miles, don't tell me. You're also interested in Katie? No. Well, all joking aside, all Uncle Ray can say is, Kate I know is a truly admirable woman. For 18 years she has always wanted to remain here and wait for Master's return. However, she was driven out of the mansion by Master's relatives. What? She was driven out of the mansion? That's because Kate isn't related by blood to Mr. Master. With no family and a job taken from her, she could only live on with the song and dance that Mr. Master had taught her. Well, she's now retired as a world-famous actress, though. Why did she retire? Because she had already saved up enough money to buy this mansion. Seems she even got back the Angel's Recipe that had been taken by the Master Group. What Kate did, Kate got back the mansion and the Angel's Recipe of Mr. Master's sake. Logic added. This mansion where she lived with Mr. Master had been everything to her. She probably just wanted to take back everything that she lost. It seems that Mr. Shields sympathises with Miss Hall. But you could also say that her actions have taken away everything Mr. Master had. We just figured out how she could make the poison gas. Because she got the recipe book back, and it's in the recipe book. That's not good for her. The method used to set off the poison gas is explained in the Angel's Recipe. And the current owner of the Angel's Recipe is Miss Hall. Ah! So that means... Indeed, it means that it's possible she knew how to set off the poison gas. With this, we can expose her lies for what they are. Apparently we've got to look at this trolley first. This lift trolley has just been left here. I wonder if it was used recently to carry something heavy. Like the body? The surface of the platform appears to be wet. I remember seeing this lift trolley someplace before. You mean during the I-7 incident? Oh, that's right, I remember now. It was in Dover's room. If I remember correctly, it was used to transport the ice sculptures. The lift trolley has a feature that allows you to adjust the height and angle of the platform. With just one of these, a single person could move the sculptures all by themselves. Lift trolley data jotted down my organiser. Wow, how convenient! I want one too. Why is there a lift trolley here? I guess that's something we'll need to think about. Yes, it could be related to the case. It's time to confront Miss Hall. 2 service cats. Is it true you keep 2 service cats on the premises? Yes? Is there something wrong? Earlier I was looking at one of the sketches from that so-called artist and I noticed that he had drawn the cat's tablecloth light blue. Light blue? Are you sure you weren't mistaken, monsieur? I only ever use tablecloths that are pure white. That's true, the tablecloth here doesn't have a single spot on it. Yes, that's because I always change them immediately whenever they get dirty. Did Larry really get the colour wrong then? What were you doing when this sketch was drawn? At that time, I was just doing my job as usual. Then could you tell me exactly what that work entails? Kate's job. What were you doing when you were drawn in this sketch? From the looks of the drawing, it doesn't seem like you were transporting the tea set. This was when I was delivering chocolates to all the people in the investigation. Ah, how nice! Chocolates! Wish I could have gotten some too. there are still a few left, so please eat these then. I made them myself, though it's possible they might not suit your taste. Woohoo! Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Perhaps it's because she had them in her pockets, but it looks like they've melted a bit. Chocolate Stature Drama Organizer. A sweet goodness. I'm happy to hear you say that. These chocolates are a little misshapen, but I'm glad to get some sugar into my system. Although they're a little too sweet for my taste. What are you, your dad? Investigation complete! Now all that's left is to wait for the results of the teapots. To be continued! Wow, I thought we were actually going to hear about the results, but no. That was just so sudden. That was a pretty short episode, actually. About, what, 50 minutes long. I had to stop at one point. Hopefully you won't be able to notice, but I assume next time we're going to actually confront her about all this, because it's a pretty clear indication that she should know how to make the poison gas because she has the book, and then there was the cloth and everything. I assume his body must have been frozen in one of the sculptures because then it melted and ended up in the fountain. That trolley thing was wet. That's the only thing I can assume, but that's a bit crazy. But anyway, I'm going to go away now and figure out why my GPU fan is spinning even though it's only using 5% of it, which it doesn't usually do that. It only starts spinning when it gets to like pretty high, so I need to figure that out. That's a bit weird. Something's gone up with my laptop. But anyway, yep. Next time, we'll talk Miss Hall. So, thank you for watching. I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.